Hello and welcome back. I hope that you caught the Daily Dharma number 1. I did just get caught off, and my phone automatically starts the next video, so we're going to try to get this end of the reading in. I am going to skip the context of every card here and just suffice it to say that this is talking about our journey from innocence to maturing to being able to integrate our gifts and to sense something about what's coming next for ourselves. We're manifesting some type of influence or relationship dynamic into our life here, whether it's with the current partner or a new love if you're single or something. So we were just looking at this individual. I'm trying to get it onto the camera here. There we go. Can we see his face up close? He comes directly below this card here, 7 of Fire, and I was seeing these energies as 2 cats. She's clarified with feline energy herself, and below her, look at him. He's got this bobcat, mountain lion. Oh, and we said lion, lioness. Yeah, he's got his wand has the sun on it, and he's got those antlers. So he also has an eye here in this. Is that the tricata? There's a. I cannot remember the name of that Celtic symbolism, but it's talking about the Trinity. Maybe that's what it is, but there's an eyeball within that. And so he's talking about his solidity, his awareness, but he's also in the forest and he has his familiar here. He's shown relaxed and sitting down comfortably, but then he's also leaning in and leaning forward. There's something that he's looking at here, and clarified with this prayers and with the energy that we're looking at here, it seems that you're really looking for an individual to, oh, I'm getting that Jerry Maguire thing about you complete me, because this maiden energy comes through with just a bit of codependence versus interdependence. And then this 7 of Fire comes through with this a bit more worldly, perhaps even skeptical ability to understand the difference between codependence and interdependence and independence. So she seems to be scrying in her bowl and getting this precognition of something. And maybe this is also depicting from an earlier meeting, an earlier romance. It may even be a specific individual that symbolizes something incredible for you, some type of feeling state, some type of an individual who embodies energies that you are embodying yourself or deciding to embody, such as the value system, a core value system such as integrity and caretaking for the world around you. And often this comes through when, let's say that you go to the dog park all the time, even though we've got cats here, right? This is just an easy way. And there's those individuals who are clearly connected with their animal companions and they treat them with respect. And then you might somehow come across somebody who speaks terribly about their animals and may even be aggressive and more punishing and controlling with that versus releasing control. These are different types of awareness levels, but that's one of the core values that would be starkly different here between the individual that you're looking to manifest and that you have prayed for this individual to embody this type of energy to complement and complete whatever it is that you are trying to integrate into your own life and your passions and visions that you are trying to build and co-create. This may be a co-creative partner that you're calling in. Yeah. And he's also got these fiery sleeves too. And even his hair looks somewhat similar here with this individual, if you will. So for some, this may be just your inner masculine and feminine essences and the way that you are spiritual versus assertive, and aspiring to rebalance these energies to really fully align with everything that you aspire to be and to become through the challenges. uh like like I love my pets, but some days they are absolutely challenging. Like I don't have a dog that chews my shoes, for instance, but my dog, he's independent and adventurous, and sometimes he just takes off and he will not come back until he is good and ready, and it drives me nuts. And it can really put me into a mental loop where my negativity starts to rear its ugly head, and I really have to pull back on the reins and say, that's not who I am, that's not how I am, and that's not the energy that I wish to embody or am willing to embody. And so I need to take that into context when my mind is racing. I need to sink back into this divine flow state that was coming out earlier, to get back into the divinity, to recognize that this has nothing to do with me. This is just, it is what it is. And you have to sometimes in certain situations, release the control and let things be. So the last card here in the spread is the 12. And this one looks so incredible to me. And now those fiery wings, where were the fiery wings? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Um, so this integration of all your chakra lessons, the fiery wings are like the initial breaking through the chrysalis phase, this full integration of all you are coming through in small bits, fits, and starts. When I lifted that up, we have, again, with that scrying on top of a table or a stump or a well, there's these two masks, a light and a dark mask. And it's like in a grove or in a little spot. Perhaps this is a new moon or full moon ritual. Anyways, that one isn't necessarily part of the reading. These cards are very complex. But when we first break through the chrysalis phase and integrate everything that we are intending to be, it kind of comes and fits and starts. And like I said, then knowing more, then when the brain starts getting away from us, whether it's self-doubt or looking for recognition or some type of validation, there's a different way to use our prayers, instead of just for manifestation of reward, but also prayerfully asking for the eyes to see the vibrational magic and miracles, the ears to hear the blessings and the recognition that is all around us, and so on. And so here it's like then really fluffing out those wings. And really, this is like something I told somebody this weekend after I had done a healing with this individual, and he seems to be a bit newer to spiritual questing. And I had told him about, when you're beside yourself, then your energy is not really here and centered and aligned. It's like projecting and fearful and perhaps ashamed and really hiding our shadow self, not really feeling comfortable in one's own skin to be authentic and pure and divine in your own messy humanness. But then when you are online, in that aura and Kundalini energy is fully embodied and brought forward um, through that sense of I am what I am. I am worthy. I am awakened. I understand that some of the thoughts that may arise are not me, and they need to be released so that I can embody myself, so that I can take up resonance in myself. And when we're centered and grounded and aligned in such a way, our aura has the anchoring within to create this huge expansion. And when we're in the forest, for instance, and there's nobody to watch us, then we're able to really blend our energies with the environment and really connect with that unity consciousness that's like, I am this, but I am also the ethers that stand between me and the objects. I am also all of this supposed empty space between myself and the camera. I am the flame in the candle, and so on. You get what I mean? And so in this expansion point, it's like we might tiptoe and creep and make ourselves small in some ways, but in that unity expansion consciousness, it's like we can walk down a street in that state, or down this journey, this unmarked trail, perhaps, seeing that card. Uh, and then we can really have the awareness. Uh, we almost feel like we're 10 feet tall. And I'm seeing again that Celtic ring imagery behind her here in the physical, then lit up here behind her. It's like this is the earthly self and this is the cosmic self type of depiction. But she's also got that same ball of energy at the heart space coming online. And I feel like, and also she has that same wreath crown of flowers, uh, no longer the white roses, but kind of a plethora of different flowers that are too small. If only I could expand it like on my phone. But there's also these sprigs that come out as though it's a true crown. It's this becoming an enlightened individual, becoming one with one's light body self, and bringing that down into your earthly self, like this star seed energy. So there's definitely so much more. It's the activation of all that we are, this convergence energy. I see that with the Celtic knots going around. Clarifying this card, we have frequency shift and mediumship. I like those. So this is our ability to now understand things and give voice to these things. I believe that for many of us, we've already been working, or dare I say, playing with these energies for quite some time. But there is a deepening of our gifts and a new platform to share these gifts with others that's coming forward for us now. And the last card, when I had split the deck, this is what was underneath. Another very intricate card. We had this imagery of half and half, light and dark, coming up a couple times, but within this one it's even more pronounced. It's more black and white, it's more yin yang. And instead of being mostly earthly energies inspired with cosmic and infused with the cosmic, here it's like taking these chakra orbs as these little tiny pinwheels here, and when the expansion process happens, each one of those chakras being unlocked through each key that we receive along our journey opens up the gateway for each of those chakra centers. And as each one comes online, they mix and mingle and become these rainbow essences here. And then see this, if you see this ring around here, hearing ring around the rosy, there's a lot of roses in this. Maybe the name Rose is important to you. She's also got the caduceus with a light and a dark wing. So there's definitely something about this. This ring has light language on it. It's the ability to expand in this way, to integrate, and there's a word for that as well. Words are so difficult when I'm in this space. Is it to do with convergence? It's when these energies come fully online and there's that expansion, then we are made aware of the soul blueprints and the light codes, light languages, and new symbol languages that are depicted on the periphery of our awareness, just beyond the veil of internal ego avatar self, when we can expand beyond the confines of this earthly body and embody all that is with that unity consciousness. There's this extreme healing potential, very much priestess energy. I don't know if you are somebody also that plays around with hairstyles or hair colors, something about the vivid colors of hair coming through, or maybe it has more to do with life changes and your hair changing to silver tones, grays or whites, or maybe you even do this on purpose by lifting the pigmentation out of your hair. But there's something here about hermetic consciousness, about the unified field of consciousness, and being able to transmute, to first transcend your own process, and to then transmute the energies of the collective and to share that forward. So your voice is coming online, your actions are coming online. There's new ways that this is able to be used. And here underneath that, I'm seeing we have this prayerfully posed individual with fish again, reminding me about the surrender process. She appears to be a mermaid. So I don't know if mermaid energy is important in your process. It's something to me about the depths of the ocean. This mermaid energy is it's this cosmic infusion energy here that's helping us to release control, to release physicality, to release the earthly concerns without releasing the reverence and the caretaking for the body, the vessel, the container of all this process. And I don't remember if I showed this in the first one. So at the end, we had power and right order. It's like our spiritual power, our cosmic power is coming online in deeper ways, in greater ways, more activated, activated and aware and awakened within us, this worthiness and this prayerful ability to tap into what is true and right, and to then put our own ego in check, to put our own process in check, our own life space. And if we had to release one of our sacred spaces, or a sacred, an attempt at a sacred union, perhaps, releasing that is part of our prayer for self to be able to come fully online. It's like if something has outlived its usefulness, or if something has become toxic and it's beyond our capacity to shift, or no longer invited into a relationship by our declaration or another's, there's the release of the previous context here is one of the keys to the next leg of the journey, to this frequency shift, and to be able to put the whole cosmos into right order through this frequency shift. Our mediumship potential comes through. And this is that integrated, awakened, and enlivened capacity, that priestess. And it's like, yeah, okay. So this one, this maiden card, and then we had this more sensual feline, being awakened by mature love. And then we have perhaps the release of love, with this individual then meditating on going forward, what to bring in, and seeing themselves as valuable and worthy, then leading into that being the motherly context, motherly in mature adulthood. And then we have this crone energy, this point of being both gatekeeper and key holder. Yes, okay. Yeah, there's this death card here also. So I wanted to get some of these. Authority on the bottom of the deck here. Becoming an authority on spiritual matters. Mediumship is one conduit of that. Throat chakra coming out. Anything else? So through the power of the voice, through the evoking, the development, and then evoking our truth through our process, comes the transition. And this also, with this frequency shift here, it's like the commitment to our process, to our awakening, and the surrender and release. There's a few there. That's gonna just get a couple more. Yeah, the frequency shift actually does show up with changes in the physical vessel through the energetic planes. I'll take those ones because they fell fully out. Now underneath is consciousness. So these cards, romantic love comes out. We'll put that in the center. So making a declaration or a commitment to shift romantic love, whether you're shifting out of singlehood into adulthood, shifting out of an unfulfilling relationship into singlehood, or shifting an existing partnership and up-leveling that into something that has greater communication, that we work with the skill levels of others and appreciate their pros and cons, and we work with each other. There's synergy and cooperative energy here to help each other to grow and mature, and unconditionally loving interactions. Then we have fertility. This is also one of the romantic love changes a relationship. The discussion to have children, or if your children are growing up and having these things, or something such as that. It is definitely about growth and watering the dry soil. That's for the third time. The ability to be fertile is to take care of the environment. If you want a seed to grow, you can't let it dry out. You have to give it nice, consistent water, but not flood it with emotions either. So mother, don't smother. Then we have perception. So what is it that you have perceived as a need to shift and change? And then we have conception and earth. So for some, this is birth of a child. Others, it is the frequency shift, the mediumship capacity to channel cosmic starseed information into this world, to conceive of a new earth. And we're perceiving our ability, where our skills lie in, and our and where our passion lies in. What would we shift and change if we could? But there's something being birthed here, and it could definitely be a vision that you've held for some time that you feel compelled to create, whether it's a healing center, an institution, or some type of invention, or simply a platform for you to do your channeling, your mediumship, and to assist others with finding their sacred keys and clues to shift their frequency, to then have multiple individuals out doing that powerful work, putting the world in right order. So let's just, with our last few minutes here, take some cards from this first ever one of my decks, the Cat People Tarot. I do not have the individual's name that created the deck right here. We have Ace of Cups coming out first. And this woman, she's holding the cup of love, but she's also, this cat is just almost hypnotized. I don't know. That's a bit of a low vibrational essence, but like the, I don't know how else to say it, but being very cautious with leaving your drinks unattended in public spaces. Take that with you, or don't drink it, I would say. But this isn't a fear-mongering platform. I would also say that we've got all this cat energy, and what is one of the best things that cats do is they thoroughly enjoy wherever they're at. They just observe the world around them. They don't absorb it, generally. Underneath Page of Pentacles, surrounded by her familiars in her den, perhaps. Yeah, she's surrounded by the totems and magical essence. And this could even be your crystal gemstone collection. It doesn't have to mean that you're a cat person, but there's a lot of feline energy here, being able to rest thoroughly and to sit and bask in the sun or in the glow of something. And this Ace of Cups too also guards us against too much indulgence, whether that be alcohol or otherwise, or some people really like their soda, pop, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods, carbonated beverages. There's something about effervescence and bubbles and your ability to be bubbly and refreshed and to come into the world innocent, awakened, aware. And then we have Seven of Cups. So this individual's really lifting up their idealistic nature and their ability to daydream and think, perhaps looking around and saying, this house that I'm looking at buying, I would put the sofa there, and I would oh, my lamp would look so great there. This nook right here would be great for reading in, something like that. There's the ability to manifest and idealize our own temple in such a way as well as we move into that space, to be able to see through the eyes of spirit. What type of relationship are you looking for, and what can you move around to invoke that without moving house, perhaps for some of you, to conceive of something that's very stable, secure, and communicative, and also fertile, that helps you move through the changes of life. Three of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and is that the devil upside down under there? I like to see the devil upside down sometimes because it has to do with attachment, fear, codependency, and loss. And the Five of Cups definitely does too. I flipped it over in the deck. So this relationship, it's like poverty consciousness. There's the dry bones, and the cat doesn't have enough. They're like, where did it all go? It's consistent efforts of really restoring and rewatering the soil that keeps a relationship alive. If you ask old people how they get along for so long, it's not always this undying love. Sometimes it's undying tolerance and the ability to communicate what's important, to move and bend and shake, because individuals don't stay the same. We're not static, we're dynamic. So the Three of Pentacles is almost like she's training her cat, or like training a cat or a dog. You get the reward system is much better than the discipline and shaming and the projection of whatever we say that they are. It infiltrates their I am statements. Like if we say, oh, you're so lazy, then they're gonna continue being lazy. But if we're like, I really appreciate it when you can pause whatever you're doing and really listen to me when you see that I'm upset. Appreciation makes milestones happen. 10 of Pentacles coming next. How do you get your riches? One step at a time, appreciation at a time. She's got her full house. So sometimes we have to train each other how we want to be spoken to, and if we want a certain outcome, putting out the honey instead of the vinegar. I think that that's going to be all that we have time for today. Your 10 of Pentacles is at hand. And so moving through this transitional phase, it can be with this one, it can be with the next one. It's up to you. Where does love grow? It grows where we water it in great measure. 9 of Wands and the High Priest. You have what it takes to move out of this scarcity and fearful consciousness and suspicious into the teacher role, but beware of dogma and asking others to kind of bend to your will, because sometimes that fixed nature will sink the ship faster